And hold on a sec. Oh, and I think we're actually back. Okay, well.
Fantastic.
Right. Okay, if you're joining us now, we'll call this Aus-NZ Combined Supercars Championship Season 3, Round 1, Part 2, and okay, and it looks like I'm actually back by some miracle. The game is actually trying to just work itself out here, so I think my internet had some sort of lapse. However, I've been able to get it back up. The game is still working out the time differences though. However, it looks like so far so good at the moment. So, do you want to give us a quick update on what's happened since the
Are you getting pictures?
I am getting pictures.
Okay,
I think
great.
we can actually, I think we're back. We are back on the air. Yes.
We've got a battle in our hands here between the two convenience cars, Shads and Uncrewed Squid. Squid is closed right onto the back of Shads, and he's coming under huge pressure now. He's made a couple of little mistakes, but he's holding on to third for the time being.
Alright, here we go. So battle's on for third. So Speed Racer's still in the lead. I'm not entirely sure if these gaps that I'm seeing are actually real, but correct me if I'm wrong. There's a 0.1. There's a tenth gap between the two. Oh, and it looks like Shads. Well, he's just been passed by his teammate Uncrewed Squid. Oh, and they made contact.
They've touched.
They've made contact. That's the number one rule of racing, and it looks like Uncrewed Squid's done the courteous thing and actually slowed up. But that means both of these cars are losing places. And well, okay, that's happened. Meanwhile, the battle's on for the lead.
Stato's closed that gap massively. That was up to 1.4 or 5 seconds before. Now he's right next to him.
Oh, and Speed Racer has to cut across to defend from Sado. So I do apologise for the lapse in internet. However, we have returned with part 2. So if you're watching this on YouTube, this could get a little bit awkward. I really didn't want that to happen in my first ever broadcast of my second ever broadcast of an official Aus-NZ combined event, but whatever the case, something happened there. Oh, and Sado he's making the call. Battle for the lead. He's the first to blink. Let's see if this strategy call will work out for him. So has anyone else come to pit road, or is it just Sado?
Taipan has pitted previously. Oh, and no, hang on a sec. Where are we? So Wop is trying to close the gap down to Squid.
Yeah. Okay. So the gap now 7 seconds between. So Chuck Racing still owes us a pit stop, and so does Speed Racer. Shads has also come to pit road, as I think you just said there. His teammate Uncrewed Squid has stayed out. However, that coming together will have massive championship implications for the Evil Knievel team, as we are just approaching halfway through this race.
Yeah, I think these cars are unstable. Oh, what the?
Oh, no. That car is totaled! He's gone for a flip that I did not expect to see. How has that happened? He's flipped. That car is ruined. The whole back end, the whole front end of that car is absolutely destroyed. The wing's gone, the bonnet's gone, the front's gone. It looks a bit like a very broken road car now. And surely he'll have to pull over for RSJ. Surely he cannot drive around like that. That's so weird. It's a bit like a drift car now, actually. My goodness. RSJ, yep, he goes through as expected, and that'll be straight onto pit road for Whopper. Surely you cannot drive around like that.
Absolutely.
Sure
there
enough,
he goes. There he goes.
Sure
Alright,
enough, on
so
pit
Whopper's
road.
in. He's going to
Whopper
be
will
there
be on
for a
pit road
while.
for a long time. that might even just be day done, out of this race, out of contention. He'll probably still be circulating, but I can't realistically see him getting back in this race. So anyway, RSJ. Watching RSJ at the moment. Whopper's obviously on to pit road. Speed Racer from the lead of the race has come into the pits. Chuck Racing is leading the race. So I'm actually glad I was able to restart the broadcast before the round of pit stops, because this is where the strategy comes into play. And it should be very, very interesting indeed. Chuck Racing.
He's the current leader.
Yeah, he's your current leader, however he still owes us a pit stop in the Illuminati Kermit car. Oh, he's very sideways coming down the hill. So, into the final sector of the track now. And he's just coming around the second last corner, and I'm assuming that... Oh, and Whopper's actually out of his pit box and out of the pit lane. He's back in the race, but he's 2 minutes. He's 2 minutes and 40 seconds. He's 2 minutes and 40 seconds down, and I'm assuming that Chuck Racing will be right onto pit road now, pretty much. So if we could just see what Chuck Racing is doing. Oh, and Chuck Racing stayed out. Meanwhile, Uncrewed Squid has come onto pit road. However, I don't think... Uncrewed Squid, yep, he's coming to pit road. However, I think that might be a mistake from Chuck Racing to stay out another lap. He'll probably end up losing out on the strategy unless it's a very, very fast in-lap, in which he gains several seconds on everybody else. So, Dark Racing 40 now up into second, with Colonel Lloyd very, very close for company with a very second-hand looking car. And will Colonel Lloyd come from a long way back? No, he won't. He just... Oh, and Dark Racing 40 loses the rear end of that car. You don't want to be doing that. He's still holding it, though. He's still... This is probably now the closest battle that we'll be seeing on track at the moment, other than maybe Speed Racer and Shad's down. Oh, yeah, and Shad's just passed Speed Racer. So... Oh, and... Oh no, Speed Racer's back through on Shad's. Actually, can we have a look at that? Because these two are very, very close at the moment. And Shad's is going to try to take that place back round the outside. Will he do the switchback? Yes, he's going to try for the switchback. Speed Racer holds it on the outside. And Shad's is going to try and attack him again. This is the battle for 6th and 7th. However, later in the race, because of the pit stops, might actually be the battle effectively first and second. Speed Racer getting very loose there, and Shad's is right behind him. Will he try and make a move into the double right-hander? We're on board with Shad's at the moment. They're all but side by side at the moment, and will Shad's try and go down the inside? No, he won't. He'll just sitting behind Speed Racer at the moment, going into the final sector of the track. Will he make a move in these last couple of corners?
Chucky's in the pits.
Chucky comes to pit road. That's your leader, and he's dropping down the field. So that probably wasn't a good idea to stay out longer than.
Now look. Yeah, Lloyd is in the lead
Squid.
now. For now, he's yet to pit.
So these two are very close to each other at the moment, and Speed Racer has dropped. Oh no, Speed Racer has Oh no, he's actually near. Yes, he's near Shad's at the moment. Never mind. Anyway, battle's still on here for 6th and 7th, and Sado is in 5th ahead of them. So Sado has actually jumped Speed Racer, and it will probably be due to this battle. So he will probably be effectively in the lead of the race once again. Speed Racer still valiantly.
141s.
Very nice.
That's quick.
So anyway, can we? I think Sado's just got. No, sorry. Speed Racer still valiantly defending from Shad's at the moment. This is probably the closest battle on track, so we might just have a look at this for a while and see what happens here. So Speed Racer is still trying to defend from Shad's at the moment. Two very, very talented drivers, probably two of the most talented in the field, and they are now battling for probably... So I don't think any of the cars in front of them...
Oh,
no. And Speed Racer! The front gets away from him, And Shads, it looks like he's going to try and go around the outside, and he's made it stick. But Speed Racer, he's still going to try and get by. Dark Racing comes to pit road, so this, yes, all these cars up front, they're coming to pit road, so this is effectively the battle for the lead, and Colonel Lloyd, I'm assuming, will come into the onto the pit lane in the not too distant future as well. So these two will be on the podium in a moment's time. RSJ looks like he's stayed out, so at least Shads will be on the podium anyway. However, RSJ still yet to come to pit road, so we are just waiting for that. And yes, Lockie. So Speed Racer still chasing down Shads. Shads managed to get by after Speed Racer made a tiny little mistake. Just a tiny mistake, and these cars can be very costly, especially battling for the lead. Yep. Now the action's died down a little bit for a while, which I don't mind, because I might actually be starting to lose my voice a little bit. But whatever the case.
Sato's on a good run here. He's got some tremendous pace, and RSJ and Lloyd in front of him are yet to pit, so he's going to be in a very good position shortly.
Sato has effectively reclaimed his lead of the race, so his strategy. He was the first to blink out between him and Speed Racer, and that has paid off rather nicely. So that means he will effectively be taking the lead of the race again. So once Colonel Lloyd and RSJ make their trip to pit road, he'll probably be in the lead again. Colonel Lloyd does have quite a significant lead to RSJ. However, still owes us a pit stop. And his car's looking very second-hand, actually. He may have hit a few things. Oh, and somebody's gone off the track behind him.
Who was that?
If we could just have a look at that. Somebody's just gone very off.
Can't find them.
Somebody... Oh, okay. Whoever's the most wrecked-looking car at the moment who's around the first sector.
Let me pull up the
It'd
map.
probably be ahead of Taipan Samurai. I'm trying to work out where they would be now, but they were very off the road. Not Taipan Samurai, sorry. Somebody went off. I definitely did see that. Oh, and Lockie's gone. Lockie's disconnected, so that will be what that was. So that car was Lockie. I'm fairly sure it was
that's
extra
a
car.
shame.
We're now down to 13 runners. So obviously I'm not the only one who's been having internet issues tonight. I do apologise that the stream hasn't been entirely up to scratch, and of course I disconnected. Hopefully that won't happen again in the next at the next race at Fuji Speedway. We are trying our best though. So Colonel Lloyd still leading the race. RSJ has still yet to come to pit road. And Colonel Lloyd, he's... Oh, I thought he was slowing up there for a second. I thought he was looking to make a trip to pit road. So far we have lost Lockie and Highlander from this race. Two very talented drivers. I think they were both internet issues, and actually also Taipan Samurai has retired, so we are down to 10 runners left in this race. And somebody, RSJ is making his stop now.
I think. Where is he?
He's gone to pit road. Yep. So
yeah.
he's just coming onto the lane now, and Sato goes up into second place. So the only person that now stands in his way between him and victory is Colonel Lloyd, who is still yet to pit. Shads goes up into third place, and Speed Racer now up into fourth. And
I think Sato, unless he makes a mistake, he's going to be pretty much uncontested to the end. What is he? 15 almost seconds up the road from Shads.
15. Yeah, exactly. However, Sato has actually been known to make mistakes and has made many tonight, so I wouldn't rule that out.
Absolutely.
However, he's putting on a good show. He's doing rather well. So if he just keeps it clean, once he gets past Colonel Lloyd when he makes his pit stop, he's looking like he might be able to win. So Sato, he was one of those very fast cars that I said before. They struggled in race 1, and they've used race 2 to try and to do better. You get 2 chances on one night, and Sato has used that chance brilliantly.
Fastest man on the track at the moment is Uncrewed Squid in 5th place.
in 5th place, so he will probably look. He's within a second of Speed Racer at the moment, so Shads is starting to pull away from Speed Racer. Oh, and Speed Racer getting very, very loose, so that's not going to help his case. Uncrewed Squid very consistent as well. He's only 2/10 off his time on this lap, and now he's all over the back of Speed Racer, so we'll probably be seeing a pass in the very, very near future for 2nd and 3rd. Sorry, for 3rd and 4th, actually.
He'll be looking to get that podium once Lloyd is pitting.
Uncrewed Squid, he gets a good run off the final corner, and it looks like he's going to try and make a move into the first corner. He's still sitting just behind Speed Racer at the moment, and it's still line astern. However, Uncrewed Squid, he's gotten a slightly better run than Speed Racer out of turn 1. Will he look to the inside? No, he won't. He looks to the outside. There's no room there either. Speed Racer's looking a little bit loose though. Up onto the curb. Now, will Uncrewed Squid perhaps try a dive bomb move to the inside? And that looks like that's what he's doing. However, he's not going to make it through on this occasion. Oh, and both cars looking a little bit dodgy coming out of the hairpin. Both cars losing the front end slightly.
Lost a lot of speed through that.
Yes. So Speed Racer will hold on to 4th place for the time being. And we are still waiting for a stop from Colonel Lloyd, and I honestly think either he's trying to make a gamble and make those tyres last to the end of the race, or he has left it a bit too late.
He hasn't forgotten, has he?
He might have just, but he'll know. Oh, and just as we say that, Colonel Lloyd onto pit road.
Lloyd on
Sado.
pit road.
So Sado, after making a mistake, he's learnt from it, and he will be retaking the lead of the race unless anything else happens, which means your top 3 will look like this. It will be Sado, Shads, and Speed Racer in the top 3, and as Colonel Lloyd just overshot his pit bay, I think he might have just actually done that. But whatever the case, Colonel Lloyd on pit road, and Sado is up into the lead of the race. So whilst those cars are just coming onto the main straight, Sado is actually, well, he's almost in sector 2. So a bit of reshuffling of the field at the moment as Colonel Lloyd drops back through, and he might get out ahead of Darky, I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, battles on again. Speed Racer versus Shads. Sorry, Uncrewed Squid. Why do I keep doing that? Anyway, oh, and Uncrewed Squid very, very loose coming up the hill, which has given Speed Racer a little bit of time to escape. Will Uncrewed Squid try a dive bomb move on Speed Racer? No, he won't. Oh, but Speed Racer looking a little. Oh, both cars looking a bit dodgy coming out of the hairpin. It's not good for either of them at the moment. So, Speed Racer currently still just trying to do. Oh, Speed Racer was looking very, very sideways, which is given Uncrewed Squid an opportunity to try and go for a move. It looks like Uncrewed Squid might actually try it through the double right-hander, but he's not going to make it through on this occasion just yet. However, Uncrewed Squid is right there, and will probably make a move on Speed Racer in the final sector. Still right all over his bumper. It might be a move into the final corner that Uncrewed Squid tries to make. He looks to the outside of Speed Racer, but it's not going to work on that occasion. Now into the final corner. Into the final corner. Let's see if his run is better than Speed Racer's is. Obviously, after Speed Racer, it's his teammate. He's going to want to try and beat his teammate because he doesn't want Shads to close his lead in the championship. Uncrewed Squid still.
Pretty slow lap that time, around 44. He must have made a big mistake.
Still waiting with 9 laps to go. Oh, Speed Racer very, very sideways. Anyway, battle is still on. Uncrewed Squid now chasing down Speed Racer.
Chuck racing behind these guys with a 40.9 that last time around. He's a bit of a threat coming from the back.
Yes, he is. Well, Chuck Racing's shown that he's able to pass cars, especially on the last lap. Oh, and Uncrewed Squid, he's looking very, very racy behind Speed Racer. The move might be this lap. He's right all over his bumper. Or he might just be biding his time, just waiting for the perfect moment to arise. And Uncrewed Squid's looking a lot faster than Speed Racer to the double right-hander. Both sliding a little bit out of the corner into the final sector. Uncrewed Squid, he's still right there on Speed Racer. He's all over the bumper now. He might try a move into the second to last corner. Will he go for the inside? It looks like he's just going to try and go for the inside, but it's not going to work. Will it be the last corner?
He's asking a lot of questions of those rear tyres at the moment.
So whose run's going to be better onto the start-finish straight? And again, it looks like it... Oh, it's a bit touch and go at the moment. It looks like Speed Racers is just better than Uncrewed Squids. However, he is right behind... He's right behind Speed Racer at the moment. Will he try one into turn one? No, he won't. He's not quite brave enough on the brakes to make a move on Speed Racer. Oh, Speed Racer's still a bit sideways. And, oh, Shad's locking up in front of these two. But, not really relevant at the moment. Speed Racer still holding. Oh, Uncrewed Squid very, very sideways again. Coming up the hill. And will he try a late braking move?
Shad's? No.
Uncrewed Squid tried for the outside, but both of them looking a little bit sideways, which you do not want. Speed Racer, Speed Racer, he understeered, well, he understeered and oversteered a little bit, and that's opened the door up a little bit for Uncrewed Squid. This is of course the battle for third, the final podium position.
I think second is up for grabs there as well.
Second could be up for grabs as Shads slows up a little bit. Sado is off into the distance, 15 seconds ahead of Shads, but this is the battle where it's happening right now, the battle for third and fourth. Speed Racer valiantly defending from Uncrewed Squid. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, click the link in the description below to vote for your driver of the day. I reckon it'll either be Taipan Samurai, Speed Racer, or Sado, or perhaps even Chuck Racing with these two very, very good drives. But this racing tonight has been absolutely superb. Speed Racer still defending from Uncrewed Squid. He's looking for a way by, but he just cannot find one. Speed Racer is a brick wall at the moment. I have a brick wall with an Evel Knievel car right behind him as we ride on board. The Speed Racer looks like he's actually gunning for Shads now, whilst he's trying to defend from Uncrewed Squid. Shad's locking up into the hairpin a little bit. I think Speed Racer locked up a little bit as well, and Uncrewed Squid is now watching this. And the gap between second and third is only like 0.3 of a second at the moment, so we might just want to have a look at that. If we could. Oh, wow, okay. Shads is holding up Speed Racer at the moment. It's a Evel Knievel sandwich with the Besmone car in the middle, and Speed Racer is a bit too wide, and Uncrewed Squid looked like he was going to make a move, but he hasn't been able to make it work. However, this is where it's happening at the moment. Oh, and Speed Racer around! Uncrewed Squid goes through. That's such a shame for Speed Racer. He was looking very, very good for a podium, and now he's lost it to Chuck Racing. So Chuck Racing is up into fourth. And now the two Evel Knievel cars are second and third respectively, with Shads leading them. However, we might have a very interesting battle for second here in a moment's time. The two teammates, very similar pace. Sado's looking a little bit untouchable right now.
Now, even though Chuck's gone through, he does have a penalty, so Speed Racer might still be, have a shot at that position.
He might still make it work. I don't know whether that's 2 seconds or 1 second, but still a penalty. Anyway,
let's have a quick look. Chuck, 1 second.
Both the drivers, Triple Rotor Racing, both the Comet cars with a 1 second penalty at the moment, and Speed Racer is almost within a second of Chuck Racing, so fourth place may still be on the cards, which is kind of consolidation for losing third. It's not quite a podium though. Anyway, Uncrewed Squid is still chasing down his teammate Shads. He's almost within a second now. So this might be a battle that we see towards the end of the race. We're on lap 27 of 33 of the feature race. We've had some very, very exciting action tonight.
I wonder how these guys are doing for fuel. So 41 for Squid.
41 litres of fuel. I don't think fuel will be an issue.
He will be fine. He will be fine. Sato down to 20
oh,
litres.
Sato's about half the fuel.
5 to go.
He's just started lap 28. So, well, I've lost the ability to do maths. So, anyway,
yeah. I think he's going to be pretty tight on fuel, isn't he? I don't know how much they used in a single lap.
He's very, very sideways. We said that he'd pretty much control the race as long as he didn't make too many mistakes.
That's right.
However, if he spins and crashes into the wall on one of them, that could be out the game, and Shads or Uncrewed Squid takes the lead of this race.
I do wonder how his tyres are faring at this point.
So the sole Mondelez car still left in this race. His teammate Highlander retired in the number 4 car earlier in the race. So that's a shame. That'll be a blow for the team's championship. However, he's still in first place. I think this will be Sato's 3rd Aus-NZ Combined win, if I remember correctly. I don't think he's won anything else other than that. His first win came at the Imola 4 hours in the LMP3 class. However, he said he didn't count that as a win. He wanted to win overall. That win that would then come later at the Laguna Seca Intercontinental GT Challenge race, when he was able to bring it home, bring the Cash Now car home for a win.
Was that in the rain?
I think no, that was not in the rain. That was in the dry. And
okay.
Then I don't think he won after that. So this, if I'm not mistaken, will be his 3rd race win. Meanwhile, the battle is very, very close for second. Shad's just holding off his teammate Uncrewed Squid, but it looks like Uncrewed has the better run up the hill, and he'll probably try and make a move into turn 1. They'll be too wide into turn 1. Let's see. Hopefully they don't come together. Uncrewed Squid looks to the inside, but Shads holds it round the outside, and the battle is still on for second place. Oh, Shad's getting a little bit loose there. Uncrewed Squid still all over the back of his bumper, and Uncrewed Squid, he runs off the road a little bit. However, he's still behind Shads, and this could mean that Chucky could become a player in this race.
Oh, he's gone in front.
Oh, and Chucky has actually gone in front,
but he's
Uncrewed Squid's actually got Chucky turned. I think there will be a few penalties that need to be issued afterwards. Chucky has been involved.
He's back through.
Uncrewed's been. He's back through, but I feel like Uncrewed Squid, he's been involved with a lot tonight, and that's probably not, what he wants to be happening at the moment.
It's
not what he wants to be happening. He's not giving it up, no. So now we have a new battle. It's Chucky versus Uncrewed Squid for 3rd place. So Uncrewed's been involved with a lot tonight. He might actually be receiving a couple of penalties. There's been quite a few incidents in these races, and there might be people having a bit of a talking to after this. And Uncrewed Squid, he's made a mistake. He's getting very, very... I think he's frustrated now. He's frustrated that he couldn't get by before, and now it's costing him. His mistakes are costing him.
3 laps to go. I don't think he's gonna... Yeah, I think he's unfortunately lost that opportunity.
He might have just thrown away a podium there, but however, he's still going to try and get by Chucky, and Chucky might actually be challenging for a podium. If he could get by Shads, that would be absolutely incredible. Chucky has put on an absolute show tonight in both races, and it looks like he's going to try a move on Shads. It's going to be around the outside into the hairpin. Shad's locking up under
carried the
brakes,
speed.
and Shad's is slow off the corner. Chuck Racing's done it better than Shad's, and it looks like he might even be in a position to make a move. Chucky looks the inside of Shad's. Oh, and he's rear-ended him. It's a bump and run, but they've kept on the road, and Uncrewed Squid, he's going to try it again on Chucky, but they've all kept it on the road by some miracle. Wow, this is really, really on with 3 laps to go. Uncrewed Squid, he's going to try it on Shad's, and will they make it through cleanly? No, well, they are, but Shad's has held on to second place for the time being. However, it's not safe because Chucky is still chasing down Shad's, and meanwhile, he's under pressure from Uncrewed Squid, and he's almost been turned by him again. Uncrewed Squid is driving a little bit too aggressively tonight, and that's coming from me, who has been, and I've been recently crowned with the nickname the Torpedo, so that really does say something. Anyway, Uncrewed Squid, he looks like he's got a better run through the final corner than Chucky has. For only time will tell. Let's see how he does on the straight. He's still in the slipstream of Chucky, and it looks like we'll have a battle that goes through through to the end of the race once again. The driver of the day should be a very, very interesting one. And can Uncrewed Squid maybe try and get through for 4th place? And could Uncrewed maybe get through on Chucky for 4th place?
Oh,
will Chucky even maybe get a podium now, and he's rear-ended him again? Squid, lay off him a bit. He's driving dirty tonight. He's frustrated. He's losing his cool a little bit. We said he was the Scott McLaughlin after race 1. However, he's not really showing that in race 2. He's frustrated. He's making mistakes. He's rear-ended Chucky, which you really shouldn't be doing. Xbox, stop listening. My connect has come up. My connect just has come on. It's being stupid. Anyway, right, resume. So, Chucky is still challenging Shads. Will he try and move into the double right-hander? Let's see who does this corner better. And an Uncrewed Squid looked like he was going for a dive bomb move. And Chucky was very, very loose, but he's actually managed to hold on to it. It was fishtailing like a salmon, and Uncrewed Squid looked like he was going to try and make another move on Chucky. And Chucky's been able to hold it. This is an... Where will this battle go? And Uncrewed Squid, he's trying again. But it's a bump and run move, but he's gotten through. Oh, and they're both very, very sideways. But Uncrewed Squid's gotten through on Chucky for the time being. Oh, and there's something a bit wrong with that car now, and that might not even be safe for 5th at the moment, because it looks like Speed Racer will be looking to get by on Chucky, and he's all over the back of him now, and Speed Racer's going to try and move on Chucky into turn 1. If we could just see that. Yes, he is. Speed Racer dive bombs down the inside of turn 1 and makes it stick on Chucky, but Chucky's coming back at him, and they make a little bit of contact. Chucky goes through again, and Chucky's back up into 4th. He's down the inside, and it looks like oh my goodness. And who was that that just went around?
I don't know who that was. Let's go back.
Somebody was there. I don't know.
It looks like Taipan.
Taipan's not, but Taipan's not.
He must be getting lapped.
Oh, it might have been. Taipan's back in the race, though. I thought Taipan had retired, so we actually have 11. We have 11 cars back in the race, and the battle's on for 2nd. If we could just see that. Shad's holding off Uncrewed Squid at the moment, and Uncrewed Squid is right behind Shads, and it looks like he's going to turn his teammate. But number 1 rule of racing: do not spin your teammate. So Shads is going to have to hold on. Chuck Racing until, Uncrewed Squid until the end of the race. We're on lap 32, and we'll be starting the final lap in a moment's time. And the battle is still on between the two Evil Knievels. The battle for 2nd. Sato's all but got this one wrapped up at the moment. However, 2nd, it's still on here. And it looks like Chucky might even still be back in the mix for a 3rd place finish.
Oh, he's just
or maybe not, because he's just looped it. Oh no, but he's held on to it. And meanwhile, Shads is still holding off Uncrewed Squid. However, it looks like Uncrewed Squid's gotten a better run out of the 2nd to last corner. Let's see how he negotiates the last corner. Uncrewed Squid is all over the back bumper of Shads at the moment. It's the run onto the start-finish straight. Uncrewed Squid's just sitting behind Shads, but he's now pulling to the outside. He's going to try it around the outside of Shads, but he's not going to make it work. Oh, and he's cut to the inside. Uncrewed Squid's going to have a look into turn 3, but he's not going to make it work just yet. And now Chucky's back in the mix. He's all over the back of Uncrewed Squid. He was a little bit deep into the corner. However, the battle's now on for second, well and truly, between second, third and fourth. And now Uncrewed Squid, he's going to try and go around the outside into the hairpin on Shads. Will he be able to do it? He's round the outside. Shads is still on the inside. They look like they've come together. Uncrewed Squid gets a little bit loose, but he makes it stick. Uncrewed Squid up into second on the final lap of the race. And now it looks like Chucky's going to have a look on Shads as well. Chucky up into third place. However, I honestly don't think that might not be safe for Uncrewed Squid, because there might be penalties for him afterwards for all the contact he's had with Chucky. However, if there is no steward's inquiry, it looks like Uncrewed Squid will fairly come home in second place. Now, if we can cut to Sado at the moment, he's about to come across the line to win the race. Sado, after an abysmal race 1, has dominated the feature race and will come across the line to take what I believe is his third Aus-New Zealand combined victory. And Shads has dropped to 5th. Shads has dropped a place to Speed Racer, which means that Chucky will be able to come home in third. But Uncrewed Squid, after I'd have to say is a brilliant drive to go from last pretty much to second place, is an absolutely superb drive. And I'm kind of glad oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. Well, isn't that an end?
I think cool down that licensing zone, isn't it?
Oh, I think it is actually. Anyway, that race is all but over, which is probably a good thing because I'm losing my voice. So that was an absolutely superb drive from Sado, and should make the Driver of the Day awards very, very interesting. Right, who should we get in here, do you think? Who do you think we should have in for post-race?
It'd be good to hear from Sado, race winner of course, but either Chuck or Uncrewed Squid to come from the back of the grid to the podium like that.
Yeah, I'd say if you could invite them as soon as we get to the results screen, that would be fantastic. So Sado takes victory in the modelling car, followed by Uncrewed Squid in second place. Chuck Racing, despite having a 2-second penalty, he's up into third place. Speed Racer just off the podium in the Besmone car in fourth. He'll be gutted with that because he was very, very close to actually doing that. Triple Rotor Racing has come home in 5th, Colonel Lloyd in 6th, RSJ in 7th, Dark Racing in 8th, Whopper in 9th, and where is Shads? Shads is gone. Oh, and Shads is actually retired. Shads retired and has come in 11th. Has he rage quit? Well, we might have to talk to him about that actually. We might have to get him in there.
I'll bring him in the yeah.
Anyway, right. Alright, let's have a look at the championship standings after that race. So Uncrewed Squid, fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 40.5. Sado took victory, followed by Uncrewed Squid and Speed Racer. Now, if we can have a look at championship standings at the moment, Uncrewed Squid has won the round. Actually, hold on. Is there a it looks like there's been some sort of miscalculation of points at the moment, but I'm assuming that Uncrewed Squid is actually still leading the championship. We'll have to have a look at race results afterwards. But that was a very, very exciting couple of races, and it should make Driver of the Day awards very, very interesting. Which, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description below. Whether you're watching on one of the 2 parts of this race, now probably for next time when we do this, I'll probably assume that we're going to do 2 parts anyway. And the race winner, Sado 15, joining the party. So, congratulations on, well, pretty much dominating race 2, Sado. You really, really turned it around. You must be very, very pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm quite pleased. Sorry for my voice. I've been a bit sick the last couple of days, but yeah, I really struggled in that first race, so I threw a Hail Mary at the setup, completely re-engineered it, and it just came live in that second one. I was just able to push
Wow.
The car didn't break loose.
That's very, very good. So, pretty much unchallenged for Sado. So, I was actually just going to ask, what did you pretty much what did you do to do better? So you were you were struggling in race 1. So was it just a setup issue that you were having with that car?
It was definitely setup. It was very oversteery and very twitchy coming off the curb. So I adjusted the downforce and changed the dampers on the car, and it just came alive in that race.
So secrets to success from Sato. He's turned it around and he's come home in first place. Now, do we have anyone else who is going to be joining the party, Mr. Uzo?
We've sent the invites, but I don't know if they've come through yet.
We sent the invites. I hope they are. I'm interested to see what happened to Shads at the end there, because it says he's retired, even though Did he really?
He ran out of fuel.
He did not run out of fuel.
Yeah, he did.
Well, that's controversial, and that's going to have massive championship implications. So, wow, okay. So that'll have championship implications. He finished behind Uncrewed Squid in race 1, and now he's not scored any points at all. So that's really quite controversial, actually. Thank you very much for telling us that. I'll see if I can send some invites actually to people who would like to join. Oh yeah, we can invite Shads in, actually. I might just do that. Invite to party. There we go. Just sorry ladies and gentlemen, I'm just trying to invite some people in. Now who else do we want? Oh, we should probably invite Uncrewed Squid in here. That was absolutely that was, well, he it was an interesting. Oh, and we have Shads. Shads, is it true that you ran out of fuel?
Yeah, I ran out of fuel on the second last corner, I think, something like that. I was trying to conserve, but I really wasn't in a position where I could lean off or do anything. I just needed to keep pushing. In the practice, I ran it to, I think I had less than a litre left, but unfortunately I realised halfway around the last lap I was going to be running short, and I tried to coast it round, but I still ran out. Very disappointing.
Oh, you still put on an amazing show for us. You had us on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, it was quite exciting. There was a few unfortunate incidents, but yeah, it was good fun. It was good fun, but I knew I had to sort of conserve fuel and conserve a bit of tyres and still keep pushing at the same time, and I never really got a chance. I was hoping that maybe they'd get into a bit of a battle behind me and hold themselves up, and there might be a bit of a chance where I could save a bit of fuel, but nah, unfortunately it never came, and I misjudged it and got to that last lap and I had to back it off, let him through, and still didn't have enough to get home. Unfortunately, I lost it going up the hill. Just lost all power going up the hill.
So, well,
congratulations!
You put it on an amazing show.
Yeah, t-shirts.
Yeah, it was a very good drive. Right, so we should probably give a little bit more time for Uncrewed Squid to join in. If not, I'd like to
discussion with Chuck Racing at the moment. So chat.
From our end, there was a lot of, well, I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of dented panels after that race, because well, he was into the back of them a lot. And I mean, even I was saying, right, as somebody who's been dubbed the torpedo in the past few weeks, I was saying even I'm saying that was aggressive. So
okay. I'd be interested to see the replay myself afterwards. I saw a little bit of action. I had an incident with Squid myself where I sort of gave up the inside going into the hairpin, and he ran a little bit wide and I undercut him.
Yes, we saw. And he did.
I thought I had left him enough room on the right hand side, but as he sort of come across, we made contact. And he went round the front of my car, and the race steward said I had to give back position 4, so I had to sit there, which felt like an eternity. And then I think Chuck ended up passing me, and that's probably where I lost that gap to Sato. I hadn't have really, could have been a little bit different. But
I mean,
well done to Sato.
because of because of not being able to finish in race 2, are you worried about what sort of implications that might have on the championship in the long run?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's very disappointing.
Right.
Right. It's a long season.
points
It's a long
for
season,
that.
though, so things will even out. But that's pretty disappointing. Yeah, it's pretty much
Right.
maybe my
Anyway.
championship over.
Well, I think I'm losing my voice a little bit now, so I think that's about time to end. So, thank you very much, everybody who has tuned in. If you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching, well, on one of the 2 parts on Twitch. Thank you for dealing with some of the broadcast issues we have. If you're watching on YouTube, links in the description below to vote for your Aus-NZ Combined Driver of the Day. You have until September the 8th before the round at Fuji Speedway to decide who did best. However, you can't vote for yourself. So anyway, I've been Gear 3 Gaming, and joining me on the mic today has been the marvellous Masuzo. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, do all the rest of it, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.